Sir? Sir? Sir, are you there?
Who has made you cry the most? Who has the nicest body? Who is the funniest? Who does your mom like the most? Who has cheated on you?
Guys, videos like this will show you everything that you need to know about dating in 2021, okay? These same women will sit there and cry about how, oh, my boyfriend treated me terribly, and oh, the guys that I date, how come I seem to always attract the a-holes? Guys, they're choosing the bad boys. They're choosing the men that treat them terribly. This woman right here has just shown us that her past 3 ex-boyfriends have all cheated on her. There are men out there who would be willing to give this girl a relationship, show her how much they care about her, be loyal, be faithful, but she's out here repeatedly choosing the bad boys, and these are the same types of women who will sit there and expect sympathy and a shoulder to cry on after they go through their entire life making these bad decisions.
Who was the biggest liar? Who was the best kisser? Who do you think loved you the most?
Questions for the ladies. Shallow edition. Be honest. No political answers. Let's get started. Question number 1. Would you date a guy that is way shorter than you? Question number 2. Would you date a guy that is ugly? I mean, they are so unattractive, but they have an amazing personality.
Guys, whenever you ask women about, just questions to do with dating, please just disregard the answers. Okay, and the reason for that is because when you ask girls questions about dating, it's almost like you're talking to a politician. They're not concerned with giving you the correct objective answer. Women will say a lot of things just to make themselves look good, right? I don't care if he's ugly. I love them all. I mean, that's just absolute BS. Right? Women want a man that they can take and show off to their friends and say, hey, look what I got. That sort of thing. Okay, so oftentimes when you ask women these questions, they're just going to straight up lie to you. Not always, maybe they'll sprinkle in elements of truth to make it look believable. But in general, guys, just, look at their actions rather than what they say.
Question number 3. Would you date a guy that is broke? He has no money, but he's really trying in life.
You gotta love, right, how these women who say, I won't date a broke guy, these are the same women who you'll ask, oh, what do you value in a man? And they'll say stuff like, oh, I want some integrity. I want a good man. I want a guy who really cares about me and, is really emotionally available and all this kind of crap. And a guy who can love free, like all this kind of BS, man. This has, these relationships with these women, it has nothing to do with love, guys. I'm telling you, absolutely nothing to do with love. Okay, as a man, when you engage with women, guys, you're going to be put into one of 2 categories. You're going to be put into the first category, which is, okay, free resources, whether that be time, attention, money, validation, whatever the case may be, or you're going to be put into the second category of men that she's actually attracted to. Okay, it has nothing to do with love and all this BS. That's all that is just stuff that women sell to men to keep them on the hook to continue getting the free attention, the free validation, and all that kind of crap. Right? If it was about love, then she'd date a guy regardless of how much money he earned, how tall he was. They'll say that men are the shallow gender, right? We only care about looks and how women appear and all this kind of stuff. Women care about how men look too. Women care very much about a man's finances, how tall he is, how attractive he is, his social status. They just won't tell you that kind of crap generally.
Question number 4. Would you date a guy with no car at all? Question number 5. Would you date a guy that still live with his parents? He's trying in life, but he's still living with his parents in their basement. Question number 6. Would you date a single father of 5? He's taking care of them, but would you date him? All right.
Guys, you've got to love how women will have all of these different requisites, right? So he's got to be tall, he's got to look good, he's got to do all of these things, right? But if you as a man, you come to the table and you say, okay, well, hey, here's what I want. I want a woman who looks good, who takes care of her body. I want a woman who doesn't have kids, doesn't have all that kind of baggage and stuff like that. Oh, they lose their minds. Okay, because when women say that I want this, I want that, nobody seems to bat an eye, okay? But whenever men seem to say, okay, well, I want this or I want that, then it becomes a huge problem. Okay, and this is something that society will kind of say that you as a man, you're wrong for doing that. If you don't want a girl who's overweight, if you don't want a girl who doesn't take care of her fitness and stuff like that, then you're body shaming. Or you're not a real man. I mean, guys, we've all seen the argument that these women will be out here, single mothers, and just ruin their lives, get with a whole bunch of bad boys, right? Have a child, and then the expected outcome is that a man's going to come along and take care of the child. And if a man doesn't come along and take care of the child, then that makes him less of a man, right? Society will kind of try and set your value as a dude as someone who, you know, it's contingent on the fact that you supply and that you give to other people. And videos like this are a shock to a lot of guys because, you know, if there's something you're going to take away from videos like this, guys, it's just the fact that I would prefer that you invest in yourself. Okay, a lot of people in society, you know, women in particular, will try and position it as though, hey, you need to be investing in them. Here's what you need to do for me. You need to be doing this for me or else I'm going to not have bedroom fun with you. Right, you've got all these dudes out here walking on eggshells in relationships thinking, okay, well, what is it that I can give to her so that she still likes me? Guys, if you're going into a relationship, if you're trying to talk to a girl, whatever the case may be, I know a lot of guys over here are not choosing to date at all, which is totally understandable. But you've got to understand that you shouldn't be talking to people as though, like, oh, how can I get them to stay? You know, what can I do to convince her to get her to like me? Guys, don't be trying to keep people in your life and show them how much you care just because you want them to stay around. Because truth be told, what you're essentially doing is you're lining yourself up to be exploited. And you might think society has pushed this idea for a very long time that, oh, women are angels, right? They can do no wrong. If you line yourself up to be exploited, guys, you really think that women aren't going to sit there and milk you for all the attention and validation you've got? Right? This is why when you go on dating apps and stuff like that, you think that the women on there women are not on there so that they can meet up with dudes. They're on there to waste your damn time. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong, okay? For those dudes who have been out here focused on your business and stuff like that, how much of a distraction, right, are girls? How much of a distraction are they? Because I see a lot of guys who are quite successful, you know, they run their own businesses and stuff like that. And the amount of headaches that they get from their wives or girlfriends and stuff like that is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, it is, guys, I cannot stress enough how ridiculous it is. I mean, these guys will literally be losing sleep over the fact that, oh, their wife won't let them do something, or what's her thoughts going to be of this and all that. Like, very powerful, successful men who put a lot of effort into their career are sitting there wondering, what's my wife going to think about this? You know, as if men's input doesn't matter at all. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be talking about some of the TikToks that you gentlemen have sent in at the beginning of the video, as well as jumping into a few Reddit stories. So we're just going to jump right ahead into this first one. Not even going to shield the locals, guys, because this is quite interesting. So this one from 6 days ago is titled, I Feel Trapped in My Relationship. I, a 22-year-old female, have been in a relationship with my fiance who is 25 for 2 years, and I do definitely love him, but I don't think I like him anymore, and I don't think I want to be with him. You gotta love how with the ladies, gentlemen, it always seems to be, oh, I love him, but I'm not in love with him. Or I feel one way about him one day, and you know what? The next day, I don't feel the same way. Here's the thing, guys. You as a man, your dedication, your loyalty towards someone can remain, damn consistent, right? You can be a guy, you can like a person, you can be really consistent with that person. Women, on the other hand, guys, it'll change from day to day. right? It'll change depending on what sentence you say during the day that makes her feel a particular way. And that'll change her whole perception about you. And I don't know about you, gentlemen, but that's a lot of a headache that a lot of men are choosing not to deal with these days. But let's continue with this story here. I do definitely love him, but I don't think I like him anymore, and I don't think I want to be with him. How's that for some logic, right? He does things all the time that anger me, and we are having arguments almost daily. We have tried talking about our problems multiple times, and there are things I've asked him to work on, and every time he says he will, but then he doesn't, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record. I find myself thinking constantly about how I don't want to be with him anymore, but I don't break up with him. And here's the kicker, guys. Are you ready? I know the main reason I don't break up with him is that it would be a massive inconvenience. He pays half the bills, he can drive, and he has a car, whereas I don't. We are in a contract together for our house, we work together. Breaking up with him would make my life incredibly difficult, and I would be alone. I know these aren't good reasons to stay with someone, but I have no friends and I haven't been alone before. It's terrifying, exhausting, and the D word, and I really don't want to go back to it. I feel like if I don't have this relationship, I don't have anything, but I feel so trapped. What do I do? Guys, you're going to come across people in your life, okay, where it's important that you be very careful about the fact that, you know, people who go out and their life always seems to be crap, and I always need attention, or I need something from other people to continue going, guys, is like, these people will be a massive drain on your life, especially as a dude. Right? Dudes have this thing where, guys, I don't care what society says about this, okay? I think that dudes are very, in general, very compassionate people, very caring people. It's not as if men are out here going, oh yeah, I just want to make people feel like crap. No. I think a lot of men, genuinely care for other people and want to help out where they can and do good things, okay? So when situations like this come along and women say, oh, I need help with finances, or I just want someone to care about me, a lot of men from the get-go will be very sympathetic. I mean, I want you to think back to the second TikTok that we watched today, right? Where the girl was talking about how her past 3 ex-boyfriends have all cheated on her. A lot of men would look at that situation and go, oh, well, that sucks. You know, that's so terrible. How come that happened? I'm here for you, right? I care about you. That totally sucks. But here's the thing, guys. When women, don't have a lot of friends, can't seem to make friends, everything bad happens to them, their life is a mess, their room's a mess, and all of these things are going on, you think that by you intervening in her life that that's actually going to solve anything? No. What's going to happen, guys, is you're going to be sucked absolutely dry. Usually in an emotional sense as well. Like, I've seen dudes come out of relationships and the word that they would use afterwards is, it's kind of like a weight has been lifted from their chest. I mean, you guys let me know in the comments if I'm making sense here, right? For those dudes who have been in, long-term or just bad relationships in general, right? Where when you get out of that relationship, how you would describe it is a relief, right? You've got more energy. Because a lot of these women out here, guys, they're like draining your energy from you, for lack of a better word. I wish I could put it in a less woo-woo kind of word, but a lot of these women are straight up just a drain on dudes' lives. Okay, and I really don't mean to sound, pessimistic about that sort of thing, but like I said, I've seen dudes come out of relationships where it's like you see an entirely different guy, because he actually has some emotional energy, some physical energy to expend on other people. Okay, because girls who get into relationships when it's all about me, and oh, I need this and I don't want to leave the relationship because what about me? The consequence for you as a man is if you get into a relationship with a person like that, you're going to exhaust yourself, man, because nothing's ever going to be enough. You're going to be walking on eggshells. She's going to be demanding all of this crap from you, and you're going to have to go through it and kind of think to yourself, okay, well, maybe if I just help her with this one thing, things will get better. Right? Maybe if I just help her with this one thing. And I just want to give you guys another quick example, okay? This one isn't so bad, but just take a look at this, right? This one is from 7 days ago. And again, thank you guys for sending these in as well. It saves a lot of resourcing time going around trying to find these. So if you guys have things to submit to the show, Reddit stories, TikToks, and stuff like that, feel free to shoot them through to mrfiend11@gmail.com. But look at this, okay? It is titled, "Is the World Getting Lonelier or Is It Just Me?" I, a 35-year-old female, feel like the world is getting lonelier than ever before. In a world which ought to be so connected with all the digitalization, but in all honesty, I don't seem to be able to have a meaningful conversation with anyone. I don't think I have friends who truly understand me, and currently in my life, I'm not able to establish any meaningful connections either. How does one make friends at my age? How does one cope with such a fast-moving, disconnected world? Give me directions, all you wonderful people. Now, guys, this isn't so bad. Like, I'm sure a lot of gentlemen, a lot of you guys reading at home would, resonate with something like this, gentlemen, where we're in a digital age, okay, where it's all about attention, right? It's not about, okay, well, it's not about making friends and showing people how much you care and all this kind of stuff, guys. It's all about the attention, the social media likes, how many, because that feeds people's validation. Right, and particularly the newer generation, guys, are absolutely screwed when it comes to this. Right, just absolutely done for. I mean, what'll happen? It's really sad because we will have a lot of single mother households going forward, guys. And I'm just going to put it to you blankly: a lot of children are not going to grow up with any level of healthy self-esteem. Because fathers are being shoved out of the out of the family unit and stuff like that. And I mean, kids are just they're gonna go to social media, and things are not going to end up too well, guys, because a lot of people nowadays, particularly women, are drawing all their self-esteem from other people, from strangers on the internet, from validation that other men give them. This is why when you're in a relationship with a girl, guys, she'll keep her Instagram. Right, a lot of them behind your back will keep their Tinder, their Bumble, whatever other dating app you have in your country. It'll depend on where you live, where you watching, what country or state you're in. But women will, you'll have a really tough time trying to get a girl to give up her social media feed and stuff like that, because they need the validation, guys. And to return back to that Reddit story, just before we continue with that kind of spooky looking gameplay there, right? Is that women who get to this age, they know they're behind the girls who are 20, right? Those girls who are 20 to 25, they'll get all the attention on social media. But when girls start to hit 35, they feel even more disconnected because they're like, oh, the attention's starting to dry up. I'm not getting the attention from the same type of dudes that I was before. And if I want to, this is why, right? Girls will get to this age and it'll all become about, I need integrity, right? I need connection. I need a real man. That's when you'll really start to hear words like integrity thrown around. You think girls who are in their 20s care about integrity? You think girls even in their 20s can describe to you in any kind of sensical way what integrity means? Of course not, guys. Of course not. Okay, but when it comes time to the 30s, the 40s, etc., then integrity comes really important, right? Then I need all these moral criteria in a man. You think that women in their early 20s care about the moral structure of a man? Hell no, because she's got it all made by then. She thinks that she's on top of the world and things are just going to continue to be fine and dandy and stuff like that. And that could not be further from the truth. Right, and people will look at dating and they'll say, okay, well, men tend to win later and women tend to win earlier and stuff like that. A lot of these girls think that they have time that they simply do not have. Right, and obviously women will lose attention at different rates, depending on how attractive they are and stuff like that, and how prone they are to aging and whatever the case may be. But believe me, guys, like when I say that women are addicted to social media, they are addicted to social media. And I mean, like, in a sense that women are always on their phone. It always makes me laugh, right? When women will flake on a dude and they'll say, oh, it's just because I'm so busy. I've got so much to do and I'm just racing around. Guys, these girls are not busy, man. They're not busy at all. They spend so much time on their phones, just refreshing their page, trying to get the perfect picture, editing their photos, sending Snapchats to a whole bunch of people, posting the correct Instagram story to try and get that dude to text her back who hasn't texted her this week. Like, they'll put so much effort into this crap, and then they want to turn around and go, how come I can't find a real guy? there's been nothing real about these women for the past, like, however many years, right? And they're sitting here expecting you to be a real man and to come along and to save the day, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. But let's continue momentarily into today's next Reddit story. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments as we go through these stories as well. It's always interesting to see what you gentlemen have to say, and goodness me, this next one is a bit of a banger. So it is titled, I, a 31-year-old female, got pregnant from a one-night stand. I had a one-night stand with a guy a month ago. I met him at a bar and we went to my home. I haven't been with anyone since then. When I missed my stuff, I decided to do a test and it turns out I am pregnant. I haven't had a romantic partner in a long time. I have been thinking about having children for some time and I feel like the universe decided it for me. I have a great career and am okay with being a single mother. I'll have the kid, but I don't know if I should tell the father. What if he doesn't want it? I also don't know who he is. The only thing I know about him is his first name. Will I have any legal problems in the future if I don't tell him? If I need to find him, how should I do it? I live in the US. Guys, there are so many things wrong with this, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, first of all, let's just address it from kind of top to bottom here, just loosely, right? The fact that I haven't been with anyone since then and I haven't had a romantic partner in a long time. Please do not believe it when women will sit here and tell you that, oh, I haven't had a partner in a long time, or I haven't had any romantic dudes. That doesn't mean that they haven't been with dudes in the meantime. Right? Whenever girls sit there and they'll tell you, oh, I haven't had a romantic partner or I haven't seen anyone recently, it doesn't mean anything, guys. It really doesn't. Girls will literally get out of a relationship and say, oh, yeah, I'm just taking a break from a relationship and I'm not doing anything else right now and, you know, I'm just working on me. Meanwhile, that exact same night, they will have seen some dude. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's like, just because women are not in relationships does not mean that they're seeing other men. In fact, when women aren't in relationships for 2 years, that's the time when they're generally seeing the most dudes. They're just going to lie to you about it and tell you, oh, yeah, I'm virtuous. My body count. And here's the thing, right? Even if they do tell you their body count, one, they're going to lie about it. And two, that they're going to tell you that it shouldn't matter. That my past shouldn't matter and nothing matters. And that's a really sad thing to see, okay? Because you got all these dudes getting into relationships thinking that they're getting with a girl who, who has some level of self-control and who actually values themselves, right? But that's not what you get at all. A lot of these men who are in relationships, guys, like, what these dudes don't understand is up until the point where they were exclusive, their girl was seeing a guy. Right, and I try to make that clear in my videos, gentlemen, when I talk about, women run rotations of men. They have rotations of men. They have multiple dudes that they're seeing at any given time, and whenever they get into an exclusive relationship, you think that they're not seeing those dudes up until that very point that the relationship begins. That's just not the case at all, and goodness, this gameplay is getting pretty wild. But gentlemen, let's jump back into the next Reddit story. So let's have a look, see. Oh, wait, no, we'll continue with this one. So let's see what else here. I have been thinking about having children for some time, and I feel like the universe decided for me. I have a great career, and I'm okay with being a single mother. I'll have the kid. You gotta love how just no thought to the kid is given here. What about the kid who grows up without a father? Right? Just because she's okay with being a single mother, how's that fair on the kid? Right? Why are we removing one parent from the equation just because she feels like it and it's her time in the universe's eyes to have a kid? It never ceases to amaze me, gentlemen, how these people who claim to be the most caring, the most empathetic, the most soulful, selfless, whatever you want to call it, altruistic, they'll throw all of these words around when it suits them. Okay, but when it comes to caring about another human being, when it comes to looking outside themselves and not being narcissistic, you end up with sentences like this. I am okay with being a single mother. I'll have the kid. How's the kid supposed to feel? right? When that kid grows up and starts asking questions about where's my father, what's your answer going to be? Oh yeah, I just didn't feel like getting him involved. I just didn't feel like having him in the picture. I mean, your kid is going to grow up without a masculine figure in the household. And that's a really sad thing to see. That's a very sad thing for the father, right? In case he wanted to see the kid, which, a lot of men who they say, oh, he wouldn't be interested in seeing the kid. Men care a lot about their kids, guys, in general, right? That's just my belief. You guys feel free to, have your own opinion on this, guys, but I think a lot of men care deeply about their kids, and will come around and try and see their kids and do what's best. Not always, of course. We got dudes out here who couldn't give a crap and who will go out and get with women and then not care about the consequences. But for the most part, I think a lot of men care very deeply about their children, and I also think a lot of men are taken unwillingly away from their kids. So, but let's continue with this. I don't know if I should tell the father. What if he doesn't want it? I also don't know who he is. The only thing I know about him is his first name. I mean, wouldn't you feel special, guys, getting into a relationship with this woman, right? And, being expected to take her on a date and all this kind of stuff. And she's literally been with dudes who she can't even recall the name of. Isn't that insane? And you as a man, you might think that, oh yeah, there's this one pure girl that I know and she seems great and she's walking around here. She seems like she wouldn't make any of these terrible dating decisions. She wouldn't do that. Guys, if the girl is, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase AMS here, guys. I really like watching some of AMS's content. I think he's a great YouTuber. But he was talking about the fact that, look, if your girl is in her 20s, right, I don't care how pure that you think she is, guys. I don't care if you think she's an angel. There'd be some dude that would have gotten with her on a first date doing some nasty things. All right, just because you might think that she's the one exception, that's just not the case. Women will try and paint you this picture if you let them, right? They'll sit there and say, "Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong, and these are the decisions that I made, and so what? It's in my past." She probably won't even tell you about the decisions, right? And far out, man, this gameplay is getting pretty wild here. In case you're wondering, gentlemen, if you've made it this far in the video, the gameplay is Death Stranding. Very interesting game. But let's continue on to today's last Reddit story before we wrap up the show. Guys, don't forget to leave your comments and your thoughts as we continue on to the last one. So let's take a look at this here. And I'm not sure if I've covered this story, guys. It's been a couple of days since I've posted, so let's jump right into this one. It is titled, "My Girl Doesn't Want Us, who we are both 23, to act like we are a thing around her ex this weekend." So just under 2 months ago, the girl I am talking to now broke up with her now ex in what has been an on and off relationship for 3 years, with them being good friends for 2 years before. 2 weeks later, a month and a half ago, she and I hit it off as we have been acquaintances before, and there was a little bit of mutual interest, but being in a relationship we didn't pursue at all, with us distancing ourselves because of her being in a relationship. We have had talks about being exclusive and are on the same page about it. We are, in brackets, and I do trust her. This weekend, we are going back to our small hometown with some friends and will almost assuredly see her ex at the bar. She said that she might be less familiar than normal with me because she was friends with him before, and she does not, quote, want to rub it in that I've moved on so quick from him. Even though she has said that the breakup before that was one that she initiated, and it had been a long time coming because he hadn't been treating her well. Before she told me this, I thought it had been a cut and dry that she didn't have any feelings for him based on what she had said, and it doesn't bother me too much because we weren't officially dating yet. However, my friends do not like the sound of it at all, even though she's made it clear she sees us together in the future and enjoys spending time together. Should I be worried? Just because I do trust her, but I also know that I'm not impartial in the situation. Gentlemen, when women have relationships with guys, particularly their first few guys, or maybe the guy left an imprint on her, she's always going to have some piece of feelings for that guy. This situation right here is a classic example of her holding out for her ex. That's all that it is. right? She wants you to pretend like you're just friends and nothing serious is going on, so that if her ex wants to come around and say, hey, you want to get together, she has the opportunity to do that. This is what girls will do. This is a form of monkey branching, gentlemen, where women will try and simultaneously, play over here with this one dude at the same time being gripped onto this other dude, and she's just going to play the field and scope out what's best. Okay, and girls will lie to you about this. They'll say that, oh, I just want to for this moral reason. I mean, let's look at her justification in this story, right? Women will typically give a justification like this. She said that she might be less familiar with me than normal because she was friends with him before and she does not, quote, want to rub it in that I've moved on so quick from him. I mean, guys, you can tell as a man, right? A lot of dudes who will come to the realization, they'll say, you'll be in a situation like this, guys. You'll be able to know because her excuse will make no sense. Right? We as guys, we can generally see this stuff where women will say some BS, but we'll go, oh, you know what? We trust her. That excuse makes sense. It makes a little bit of sense, just enough logic that I'm going to go with it. But it makes no sense, guys. Okay, and this is the kind of crap that women will pull on men so that they can play the field with multiple dudes at once. Whenever you come to this side of the internet, guys, a lot of men will give you the advice, if you're a guy that's choosing to date, to go out there and quote-unquote spin plates. Right? If you're a man and you want to continue dating, it's wise to see multiple women at once. Here's the thing. Women are doing that by default with men. Right? You're not the only guy that she's talking to. You're not the only guy that she gave a smile to and gave those eyes to and demonstrated some interest in. If a woman is in a relationship and she's showing interest to you, she would have been with a very large number of dudes, and you would not be the only guy that she's getting into her rotation. But gentlemen, we are going to be calling today's video there. So as always, leave your thoughts and comments below. It's always interesting to see what you gentlemen have to say. And hopefully I can bust out a few more videos today, gentlemen. It has been a wild couple of days. Guys, we're going to be calling today's episode there. As always, if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check out the locals link in the description. The first month over there is totally free on me with code Fiendish, so make sure you check out that link in the description. But otherwise, we are going to be calling it there. So guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you boys in the next video. Peace.